Dinner time, Garfield.
Food.
I ran out of your regular cat food, so I bought you the dried kind. I'm sure you know what to do with it.
I certainly do.
Whoa, whoa! Enjoying your cat food, Garfield?
We must have it more often.
One of America's most popular exports is its comic strips. Every morning, Garfield is read in dozens of countries and languages, from Afrikaans to Spanish. Now, here is Garfield as you've never heard him before.
Maldición, mi amo aún debe estar enredado en la cama. Cuesta encontrar a alguien que coopere en estos días. Hola, ¿hay alguien ahí? Hola. Buenos días, Encanto. Bienvenido a otro hermoso día con tu animalito favorito.
Supongo que querrás desayunar.
Eso sería fantástico.
Okay, Jungs, vergesst nicht, was wir einstudiert haben. Und jetzt zieht eure Kostüme an. Wo warst du denn noch, Garfield?
Einen Konkurrenten auslöschen.
In a few years, the comic strip will be celebrating its 100th birthday. In fact, my friend Brad Anderson, who does Marmaduke, has been drawing most of those years. Cartooning is one big fraternity. The cartoonists enjoy getting together to swap a few stories and a few tricks of the trade. Here's a recent conversation I had with three of the industry's most popular cartoonists: Dick Brown, who's with High and Lois and creator of Hagar the Horrible; Mike Peters, Pulitzer Prize-winning editorial cartoonist and creator of Mother Goose and Grimm; and Lynn Johnston, creator of For Better or For Worse.
You know, you've got to enjoy your own stuff. You've got to be your biggest fan.
You've got to be the actor. You've got to be the character, and that's why when you draw a frown, you're frowning, and when you're laughing, you're laughing, and anybody watching you draw thinks you're nuts.
But don't you find that every cartoonist draws themselves? Really?
Oh, sure.
You're drawing yourself all the time. I know you are. I've seen you scratch sometimes. You just do. And I know you do.
I'm sorry, Dick. I can't see any similarity between you and Hagar. I once heard Dick lament his school experience. I think you said in an interview once, had I known I was going to be such a success, I would have studied harder in school.
So there was a wonderful old nun, Sister Everesta, made of wax. And she tried so hard with me. And she finally told me one day, she said, young man, young Mr. Richard, she said, if you don't stop doing those silly drawings, you're going to end up in the hot place. And we moved to Florida. It was 98 degrees that day. And I said, you were right, sister. Still doing the crazy cartoon.
I find this picture of this man, a man named Mr. Morgan, who was my English teacher. And I had obviously given him my yearbook after I graduated to sign.
Yeah.
And on the bottom of of his picture, he said, "Dear Mr. Peters, you had better start growing up real soon. Because remember, you can't always draw cartoons."
Oh, that's wonderful.
Talking to hopeful cartoonists, I asked them about their doodling. Are they a chronic doodler? Do they like to sketch, or do they study the art? If they're chronic doodlers, if it totally occupies their brain, if the clock stops while they're doodling, then they have great hopes of being a cartoonist someday, because the clock has to stop while you're doing your work. Otherwise, you couldn't bear to spend that many hours at a drawing board. That would be too crushing.
You have to go into this dream state of being in this other world.
It's like a meditation.
I go into a new neighborhood, and I'm with these people. I know where the street goes. I know where the bus stop is. I know where the park is. I know what the neighbor's house looks like inside. I know what the wallpaper's like. I mean, you really have to psych yourself into this new dream state, this new community, and then you can think of the relationships.
I usually start with drawing a funny picture of the main character, Hager, in some position or other like that. And sometimes that'll spark a gag. Sometimes you sort of concentrate on a blank piece of paper and say a mantra like, money, 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 money. Something like that.
Dead life, dead life.
I think of this one guy. I was at this mall in Washington one time, and I saw this little guy. He was about 22 or something. He was sitting there, and he was reading the Washington Post. He was reading through different cartoons. And I saw him get to my cartoon, and I saw him laugh. I thought, whoa, whoa, because that doesn't happen. I mean, very, very seldom do I ever see it. You know, most of the time they look at my cartoon, you know, and then they go on. This guy laughed, and I think, God, think about that. You do something in Dayton, Ohio, you know, Sarasota or whatever, and you draw it, and then you send it to the syndicate, and that's 1,000 miles away, and then they send it out to the newspapers, and then they print it, and they give it to the, sell it to the people, and then that person opens it up, pow, and you've like tickled them. I mean, from 12,000 miles.
I had a great letter one time. It was it's probably the best letter I've ever had. This girl wrote to me and she said, I am in a body brace. I've just made dinner for my family. I have a 2-year-old child. I am standing at my kitchen counter feeling terribly sorry for myself, eating pears out of a can because I cannot eat and I can't sit down and I'm so miserable. I opened up the newspaper and I laughed at your comic, and she said, I wanted to let you know how badly I needed that laugh. I needed that laugh today. Thank you.
I think we're all frustrated actors anyway.
All right.
Except here in the comic strip, we get to write the script, cast the show, set the stage, direct it, everything else. And I often thought we would probably all be stand-up comics if we were only quicker-witted. As it is, we get all day to think of one funny line. Cartoonists' commitment to brightening our lives isn't just confined to the funny pages. Behind the scenes, they donate a lot of time and energy to charitable causes. Lynn, Mike, and I, along with dozens of other cartoonists, recently joined Dick in Florida for his Joan Brown Cartoon Classic to raise money for the critical care unit of the Sarasota Memorial Hospital. See if you can guess who is drawing some of your favorite characters.
Fill my life with just a little color. Through thick and thin, you've seen me through each year. In quiet little ways, you brighten up each day. And reading you is just like looking in the mirror. Sketch me up some laughter, pencil in a smile. Draw out my emotions and play them for a while. Scribble in a punchline, sign it lovingly. Even though we've never met, it's amazing how well you know me. Say for me what I'm afraid of saying. Draw for me what words just can't express. Play for me the role I can't be playing. A moment from the tension, a minute without stress. Sketch me up some laughter, pencil in a smile. Draw out my emotions and play them for a while. Scribble in a punchline, then sign it lovingly. Even though we never met, it's amazing how well you know me.
I'm always fascinated by the public reaction to Garfield.
I like Garfield. He's the kind of guy I'd like to hang out with on a Saturday night. You know? So laid back, he's cool. I love the way he acts. He likes to eat, he likes to sleep.
Well, he's really cute, but I just don't like cats.
What do you think of Garfield?
I think he's cute, and I like cats. I'm a more of a Far Side fan.
Happy birthday, Garfield.
Happy birthday, Garfield.
Happy birthday, Garfield.
Ugh, a spider. Hold still, little spider, while I squash you with the window. Yeah, I know it's kind of cruel, but it's part of my job. At least I got rid of the spider. Oh, no.